not sleep that. But that's work we have.
Music production is one activity that almost everyone around the world has a personal view of it. It is a job to some people, a hobby for some, and an adventure for some people too. Cubase and FL Studio are some popular names when it comes to the digital music production world. There are some other names, but today's video will be centered around Cubase and FL Studio. In this video, I'm going to talk about some common facts and myths that every producer can relate when it comes to music production and beat making as a whole. Before I continue with this video, please do well to like and share, and kindly subscribe if you're a new fan here. Alright, so let's get it going. Alright, so the first fact I have here is that Cubase and FL Studio are very addictive. And this is a very popular fact, and we can all attest to that. Once you start using FL Studio or Cubase, there's no going back. You always feel like using them anytime you're free, and you spend most of your time there without even realizing it. And after going for some days or weeks without using them, you feel there's something missing in your life and you would want to reclaim that thing. And that's one fact that almost everyone using Cubase and FL Studio can attest to. The second fact I have here is that Cubase and FL Studio are time consuming, and this is almost similar to the first fact. Once you start using them, you wouldn't even realize you spent several hours working on them, and you tend to waste some time there sometimes. Other times too, you can go like almost a whole day using it just because you are so deep into the beat and you can't do away with it. And with this fact, we can all relate to it. Another fact about Cubase and FL Studio is that you don't need to be a musical genius before you can use them. You only need some basics in music, just some little piano skills, a little drumming skills, and some few notes. You're good to go. You don't need to be a professional keyboardist or a professional drummer before you can program a beat. You just need some basic understanding of music. How are you gonna find your tune or your key and your timing, your tempo, everything you need? Those are the basics of music, so you don't really need to learn so much music theory and other stuff. The fourth fact I got here is that starting off is always the hardest. And this may sound unrelated, but I just feel I need to chip it in. Once you start and you may have your headset, you're producing some 1 or 2 beats just to your amusement, and after some time you may need to produce some professional beats, and this requires a lot of equipment. You may need to buy studio monitors, a condenser microphone, a MIDI keyboard, and all these come with expenses. So at this point you are more likely to get discouraged because you feel you're gonna spend a lot of money on those items and you don't even know what the future holds, whether you're gonna run at a loss or you're gonna make some profits off those beats. So at this point it gets the hardest. The next fact is that beats don't sound the same at any point in time. And if you've clearly observed, sometimes you make beats when you're sad, sometimes you make beats when you're happy, and you just include all your emotions into the beat. When you're sad, you just add some parts to just get that emotional feel. But at another point you're happy and you may want to listen to the old beat you made and they just don't sound the same. Sometimes the beats sounded crazier, but at another point they sound dull, and that's one thing music producers face, and it's just a normal thing. It doesn't call for anything. It's just how we are. Humans change. The last but not the least fact about Cubase and FL Studio is that the beats you picture in your brain are not exactly the same as the ones you produce. Sometimes you may have an idea of how you may go about your next beat, and you end up creating something totally different. And it's not magical, it's just a common thing in life. You may have your plans, but life to guard other plans. So sometimes you may picture a very good beat, but you end up producing a bad one. And sometimes you just want to create something for fun, and you end up creating something so good and professional that you wouldn't even want to share with anyone. And that's one of the facts about music production or beat making. You don't always play what's on your mind. You end up creating something better or something less of what's on your mind. With the myth about Cubase and FL Studio, I only got one myth here. And this has been a very controversial issue over the years, and people have been battling it out as to whether Cubase is the best or FL Studio is the best. But that's my opinion on this issue. So there's nothing like the best digital audio workstation. There's nothing like the best software for recording music. It all depends on what you, the producer, wants, your creativity, and all the skills you have to produce something good out of the little you have. So you may be good at FL Studio and you may want to stick to that. You may also be good at Cubase and you may want to stick to that also. But sometimes you may want to experiment with other apps, and that's cool. But make sure you just specialize in one so it doesn't conflict your skills in the other. So that's all I have for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please do well to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you may get updates on my new videos. Thank you.